Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. Sorry, bear with me. Just trying to find my happy place, which is away from having to think about the British Labour Party. Literally anything other than the British Labour Party. Okay, buckle in, guys. This is an important one. And it is, I think, I'd like to hear exactly what you think about this, including those who regard themselves as die-hard Starmer supporters. Try and defend this. So, let me tell you about a politician which any rational, sane, decent Labour Party would be unbelievably proud of. His name is Jamie Driscoll. He is the serving mayor for the north of Tyne, which includes Newcastle, North Tyneside and Northumberland. As mayor, he's done an astonishing job. He's been a driving force for a green industrial revolution, securing millions for schools, councils, small businesses, NGOs, housing associations, you name it, to help tackle the climate emergency and the energy crisis, as well as getting loans, equity, grants to help achieve net zero. He's created thousands of jobs with permanent contracts and good pay. He's fought a war on child poverty, despite, I would say, pretty challenging circumstances at the national level, built affordable homes. We could go on. This is what a real Labour Party worthy of its name, should be doing. Yes, has very limited powers, but he's used those very limited powers with gusto, creativity, and above all else, social justice. So when the new North East Mayoral Combined Authority was announced to be founded for May 2024, you'd think that Mayor Jamie Driscoll would have an exceptionally good shout at winning the nomination. And the people who run the Labour Party, the soulless, dead behind the eyes, principle-free, ghoulish weirdos who run the Labour Party, as you can tell, I've met many of them, well, they knew that. They knew that Mayor Driscoll was almost certainly going to have the nomination in the bag. So, how did they think to themselves, how are they going to get around this uncomfortable fact? They don't like the guy. He's a lefty. They want anything to do, vaguely, with any left of centre politics, crushed, permanently eradicated from British politics. So, there's one strategy they could have deployed. Just find an unbelievably amazing, talented candidate to challenge Driscoll. So members would go, well, he's done a good job, but look at this one. Wow, amazing. We'll vote for them instead. So he could be voted, defeated, fair and square. You must be joking. What, this lot? The people who run the Labour Party? Democracy? Don't think they're particularly interested in that. I'll level with you. So what they did instead, guess what their clever strategy was? You ready? You guessed? Yeah, they just banned him. They just banned him from standing. They just made sure he's not on the shortlist. So members have no right whatsoever, no ability to decide whether they want him as their mayor. That's it. No reason given. Kicked off. Disappeared. Thrown into political no man's land. That's it. His political career terminated for nothing. After all his achievements. Purely because he isn't on the right of the British Labour Party. Now, for those who still have illusions in these little thugs who run the Labour Party, please do allow them now to be shattered. Now, this is really just chef's kisses. Keir Starmer did a video with Jamie Driscoll when he was standing to be Labour leader, which really does underline for anyone who continues to pretend dishonestly that Keir Starmer isn't an entirely dishonest man. And this is the problem with dishonesty, because a fish rots from the head down. And you get a dishonest politician and they make their ardent cheerleaders dishonest as well. And so dishonesty spreads like a plague through British politics. Let's just start with this little clip, shall we?
One of the most important things is unifying the party. We've been taking lumps out of each other. We're too divisive. And if we don't change that, we won't win the next general election. Yeah. So we have to unite. That doesn't mean everybody agreeing, because you're never going to get that in the Labour Party, but it does mean creating an environment which people can respectfully disagree and come together and make a decision and move forward.
Well, you bring them together?
Yeah, I mean, it's true you get differences. Of course you get differences. We've got 580,000 members. I don't actually agree with you that they're so fundamentally opposed that we can't bring people together. And, that saying that there's more that unites us than divides us is really, really powerful. And in this campaign, I am detecting our membership wanting to turn a corner and recognising that if we just keep taking lumps out of each other, we're going nowhere.
That's nice, isn't it? We need to unite. Doesn't need everyone agreeing. Empowering members. More unites us than divides us. I mean, the guy genuinely should pick up some, what is it, Perrier Comedy Awards. Now, this is the gold dust. This for me.
But even in our campaign, we've been able to bring together different parts of the party. And I'm conscious of the fact that if I lead the Labour Party and ask for unity, I've got to demonstrate that through my campaign and as leader of the Labour Party, because you can't ask others to do something you're not doing yourself.
We've been able to bring together different parts of the party. I'm conscious of the fact that if I'm asked to lead the Labour Party, I've got to demonstrate that through my campaign as leader of the Labour Party. You can't ask others to do something you're not doing yourself. Literally says, exalts party unity and having different wings of the Labour Party working together, to the very mayor that his factional allies then kicked out of elected politics. I mean, it's poetic. It's absolutely poetic in its obscenity. I mean, the final one. Should we do the final one?
If you're going to go for unity, you've got to inspire people to come together. You can't force them to come together. And disciplining people to be united is going nowhere. So the only way in the end to unite the Labour Party is to be very clear that's what you want to do, to recognise there will be different views and to reconcile them, and to have a culture and a spirit where people genuinely want to pull together.
If you're going to go for unity, you've got to inspire people to go together. You can't force them to come together. Disciplining people to be united is going nowhere. Oh my word. Going on about different views, reconcile them, have a culture and a spirit where people genuinely want to pull together. Now, what he actually did do after all this is renege on the key promises he made. Nationalising key utilities, gone. Increasing taxes on the rich, gone. Abolishing tuition fees, gone. Standing by trade unions, gone. Abolishing universal credit, gone. Reversing privatisation of the NHS, not just gone, but they've actually committed to more private sector involvement in the NHS. Defending free movement, gone. Radical devolution of power. I think we can agree that stitching up mayoral elections is not a radical devolution of power. But crucially, he also said party unity. He said Labour would be a broad church. He constantly spoke about the importance of unity, and he said the selection of Labour candidates needs to be more democratic and we should end NEC in positions of candidates. Local party members should select their candidates for every election. Laughing in your face, these people. Laughing in your face. They think they can get away with anything, and they have got away with everything, because they correctly calculated that Labour Party members and the left in general are not legitimate political actors, and you can do what you want to them. You can do what you want. You can act as ludicrously dictatorial and anti-democratic as you so wish, because the media hates the left. One senior journalist said that to me. He just confessed. He said to me, well, the thing is, most people in the media just, they have contempt for the left. So what journalists do is they look at this and they think, well, actually, this is good politics. Lying, deceit, duplicity, because it's all, in the end, the goal of crushing the left in British politics. And we think that's a good thing. So that's good politics. That's what's happened here. Now, they've done everything they can to block anyone left-wing. That is people who believe in public ownership, high tax on the rich, scrapping tuition fees, standing by trade unions, we could go on. In the verdict of the former Channel 4 News stalwart Michael Crick, who aligns his politics with the Labour right, he said it is increasingly clear that Labour's election processes are unfair and verge on corrupt, adding that favoured candidates were given membership lists long before others do, and so could start canvassing sooner. The reasons for blocking left-wing candidates who had a very clear shot at winning include, for example, one candidate who had an incredible background in the union and in the trade union movement and the Labour Party, with reasons cited including liking a tweet by Nicola Sturgeon expressing relief at her negative COVID test and a picture of a man pretending to cry over Matt Hancock's resignation. These are the people running the Labour Party. Is it any wonder, as the evidence mounts? I mean, the evidence is there, it's overwhelming. It's just the media doesn't generally report on them for the reasons I've said. But already now, what's happened is, if you look at Keir Starmer's ratings, his untrustworthy level, 45% of voters think that he is untrustworthy. That's gone up by 5 points in the space of just under 2 months. Trustworthy gone down by 6 to 27%. The guy is one of the most dishonest politicians in modern British political history. He stood as someone who championed, supposedly, radical transformative policies and party unity, and he ditched the lot. No party leader has stood on a platform which they have so comprehensively junked. There's nothing to be said in defence of this man's leadership in terms of honesty, integrity, being principled, having a clear vision. And the only people who are claiming otherwise are people who don't believe in anything themselves, who have no principles, and who treat politics as a football game where you just blindly cheerlead whichever football team you've attached yourself to. And in many of these cases, they were voting Lib Dem in 2019, calling for the destruction of the Labour Party, and now spend their time on Twitter denouncing anyone like myself who's voted for the Labour Party my entire adult life as Tory fifth columnists, Tory enablers, and all the rest. Well, you can go and stuff it, you lot. You are the most tedious and ridiculous people I've ever met in British politics. You don't believe in a single thing, and the Labour government, which people like you will end up propping up, which will only win the next election because the Tories have destroyed themselves, is, I think, going to collide very quickly with political reality, because no political project founded in such dishonesty, in my opinion, can hope to go and end in a way which I think is happy for either the Labour Party or for the country which it is supposed to serve. I think I've said my piece. Please like and subscribe. Do listen to us on the podcast, and do support us on patreon.com/OJ84. I'll see you in a bit.